Go-Getters will educate on business etiquette in Italy, informing the audience of culture and customs, values and lifestyle, greeting and language used, along with a few tips on the do's and don'ts of business in Italy.
Culture and customs.
Every country is different in how they conduct their business based on the cultures and customs that that country holds. Italians do business far differently than Americans do because Italians conduct their business far more personally. A business partner is an extension of the family, maybe a distant cousin that you see often. Everyone knows that first impressions matter, but in the land of designer clothing, knowing how to properly dress will make all the difference. In Italy's real business world, casual Fridays don't exist, and everyone has to look presentable and business-like at all times. Because every country has its own culture and customs, when foreigners come to do business, sometimes they are thrown off by the way people act. It is even common that people will get angry or upset because someone overspoke them in a conversation. In Italy, such practices are common, but don't let that discourage you, they mean no harm.
Values and lifestyles.
To understand and portray the correct business etiquette in Italy, you must first delve deeper into the Italian lifestyle and values. For instance, the correct business etiquette also refers to the correct dining etiquette, as Italians spend much of their time around the dining table. You get to see more of the habits of the person, and it is expected of you to have good dining etiquette in Italy if you plan to conduct business there. A few things to note about dining etiquette are that you should not sit down until asked to sit down by the host, and you should never use your hands to pick up food, as it is always better to use your utensils. It is common to bring a small gift to a dinner that you are invited to, as to show gratitude towards the host. Italians base their opinions of people strongly on their first impressions, which includes who you have relations with, your physical appearance, your mannerisms, and ultimately the work you put into projecting this self-image. So if you have poor dining manners, you will almost definitely start off on the wrong foot. The first impression is nearly impossible to erase from an Italian's memory, so make it a positive one. This may sound superficial, but that is what a first impression is. And if you can get this down, you are on the road to success in Italy.
Greetings and language used.
Italians are quite formal in their speech, especially if they are conducting business. Like in many European countries, Italians apply different forms of you when addressing different people. When speaking to a stranger or a person who is not close to you, especially somebody older, the formal form is lei should be used. Tu is the familiar form of you and is usually used with kids, God, or animals. Tu and first names may only be applied to strangers or older people after the person you've been talking to invites you to refer to him or her in such a way. Usually the one making the invitation is the one who is older or more superior. Nonetheless, the younger Italians today are less formal and often talk to strangers of their own age using the form tu. Titles are also a big part of an Italian language. If a title is unknown, signor is used for a male, signora is used for a female, and signorina is used for a younger woman. However, more specific titles are used when you know more about the person. Dottor, doctor for men, or dottoressa, doctor for women, is used for those who obtain a degree from a university. The boss is a director and therefore is called direttore or president if he or she is a president. Professor, just like in the US, is referred to as a professor, Italian for professor. Knowing the proper words to say when meeting, greeting, or leaving people is a must. Hello, ciao, is only used between young people or friends or with somebody who greeted you first with a hello. When meeting someone else, good day, buongiorno, or good evening, buonasera should be used. If introduced to another person, it is considered to be polite if you say molto lieto or pleased to meet you in Italian. When you leave, you say goodbye, arrivederci, for several people, and arrivederla for a single person, and shake hands. The common among many nations tradition to shake hands is used in Italy not only when meeting somebody, but also when leaving. Even though these rules may seem like a small part of communication, they do make a big difference in how you present yourself.
Tips on the do's and don'ts. A quick guide to business etiquettes in Italy. Business attitude. Do make all presentation materials and packaging aesthetically pleasing. Don't attend a meeting unprepared. Conversation topics. Do talk about soccer, current events, or opera. Don't talk about taxes, the mafia, or question about private family concerns. Dress code. Do dress formally when invited to business and social gatherings. Don't wear shorts or tank tops at church. Entertainment. Do keep both hands above the table when dining. Don't use your hand to pick up food such as fruit and cheese. Gifts. Do bring a gift of liquor or chocolate. Don't bring chrysanthemums. Greeting. Do greet using titles like Señor for men and Señora for women. Don't greet with first name unless invited to do so. This concludes our presentation. We hope you had enjoyed it and were able to take away something that will be useful to you in the future.